So good morning, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Environmental Social Justice. So today we have brought back Miss Susan Wilking Horan. She is our wellness expert. We met her a few months ago where we talked about Fleischer Studios and Betty Boop and the book she wrote about wellness and healthy, well-being. But the most important part is we're still kind of in a pandemic. We're still a bit in a lockdown, staying at home. And the mental health issue is very important. A lot of people are suffering from depression and anxiety. So I wanted to bring Susan back to talk about tips and tricks of how to make your day a little bit better. So please, Miss Susan, welcome to the show.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you again. Yeah, Wendy, this is such a difficult period of time for so many people. We have all been through a year that is new for all of us and very difficult. And what's interesting is that so many of us are still feeling the effects of having lived this last year and a half, even though we're beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And there's a reason for that. It's because we went through a very long period of time, and we've all heard the term battle fatigue.
Yes.
Now, battle fatigue is a term that is usually given to soldiers who are in the midst of war, boots on the ground, and they suffer from battle fatigue. I'm going to start by reading just a few descriptions here, and tell me, think to yourself, do any of those sound familiar to me? Here we go. First of all, the loss of comrades and leaders, the loss of physical comforts, the loss of support groups, friends, or family, days filled with uncertainty and doubt, the lack of clear and concise information, the daily threat of injury, illness, or death, prolonged time with no noticeable progress, the suffering of loved ones, grief for a world that has turned upside down, and an inability to find closure. Now, these are the classic situations, traits of battle fatigue, and yet this is exactly what all of us have been feeling over the last year and a half. We have all become soldiers. We are all engaged in this war against a common enemy, which is this deadly virus. We've been risking our health every time we leave the house. We mourn those that we have lost. We've lived our days in this fog of uncertainty. We see very little progress up until just recently, and we despair for a world that so many of us feel has become unrecognizable. So we are all suffering from battle fatigue, just like a soldier on the field. And now, as we are beginning to come out of this, as I said, and we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, the world is beginning to put itself back together. But how do we put ourselves back together as well? Because, as you said, so many of us are still suffering from feelings of fear, sadness, uncertainty, loss, and depression. So you have as I said, very wisely, you have broken this show down into 3 areas that I agree are very important to talk about. And you have broken them down into the areas of exercise, nutrition, and humor. So even though there's so much we could say, that we could go on for days about these issues and how to help ourselves, but we're just going to start with these 3, and we're going to go to exercise first. How do we make ourselves feel better during these very difficult times? How do we pull ourselves out of the depression? First of all, you have to move. Yes. Just move your body. Now, I'm not talking about, when I say exercise, I'm not talking about but it's not about weight loss or toned abs or tight buns. We're not talking about that. We're talking about moving our bodies. We're not talking about running a marathon or lifting 50-pound weights. It's just about moving our body so that we get that slight physical exercise, which not only benefits our body, but benefits our mind as well. Because one thing we want to keep in mind is when we move, and let's say it's as simple as a 10 to 15 minute walk, or vacuuming your house, or doing the dishes, or playing with your dog or your child, whatever it might be. Every time you move your body, it decreases our stress hormone, cortisol. And it also increases, and we're going to hear a lot about this today, it also increases our feel-good chemicals of serotonin and dopamine. And simple movement just helps our brain produce more of the good chemicals, less of the bad chemicals, and it helps us fight depression. It helps us reduce our stress and anxiety. And, you know, one of the best exercises, again, is just simple walking. And if you are fortunate enough to be able to get outside and take a 10 or 15 minute walk, then do it. Because when you're outside, you're also going to get the fresh air. And breathe that air in. It will help expand your lung capacity. It sends all that fabulous oxygen to every cell in your body, which is required for cell nourishment. And the vitamin D from the sun, just 15 minutes a day, will also do wonders to elevate your mood and to help you feel better throughout the day.
Are you seeing more people, Susan, like out and about in the streets? I still don't see a whole lot of people going out. I know gyms just opened a few weeks ago. Is there some fear still with the whole being around people that also contributes to the battle fatigue or post-traumatic stress disorder that people are experiencing? And how do we mentally get ourselves out of that?
That's a good question.
That's such a good question. And yes, I think there are a lot of people who are still reluctant to go outside. We have become used to living a certain way. And once you are in that way of living, it's very hard to break out of that and find again some normalcy or a return to what we used to do, the activities we used to engage in. I do think people are still afraid, and it's a process. It's, you know, Joy, it's not something that just happens overnight. We have to encourage ourselves and encourage each other to get out there and take these small steps, literally, whether it's walking, doing a few stretches throughout the day. And the more you do it, start with 5 minutes a day if you can do that. Then work your way up to maybe 10 minutes and then maybe 15 minutes. Start slow. Small steps, I always say, lead to big changes. But yes, it's going to take us a while to get back to the lives that we remember.
I think your key word there was encouragement, right? Being able to encourage friends. Like last week, Wendy encouraged me to come over to her house and she made the best home cooked meal. It's all about encouragement, trying to encourage each other to get to the next level and out of this rut thinking that we've been in like the last year. The smallest bit of encouragement from friends, it can really help elevate all of us out of here in a collective manner.
Absolutely.
I think
you can just see Mark and Angel just came back from taking their walk that I encouraged them to do this morning. But it's all about encouragement and supporting one another.
Joel?
Yeah, I think it's also about understanding everybody's boundaries, because everybody's going to be at a different mental place. And so, like, I mean, I see a lot of people getting together and I'm like, you haven't been vaccinated? And they'll be like, well, we haven't finished yet. And I'm like, call me in a few weeks, you know? Yeah. So I think it's encouraging people to honestly get vaccinated so we can do these things together again. but also understanding that even if we're doing them, you still got to be masked. You still have to do these things because these vaccines are not eradicating anything. It's getting you about a 95% effectiveness, against possibly catching it again. So it's going to be this weird dichotomy, honestly, for the next year where we learn how to live with a virus that is not going away. I sound pessimistic.
It's adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
It's adaptation as with anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And just, rethinking how you do things. And one of the things when Susan first brought up was we're so used to having progress and being productive, and that's been taken away. I think that's hurting people the most, is what am I accomplishing today? What am I accomplishing this week? And we've had pretty much over a year of status quo. And I think that's what really is kind of getting to people.
Yeah.
And I love the exercise aspect. I mean, best thing for creativity, get out and take a walk.
Exercise, the best thing I can do, sorry to interrupt, put on a dance pop song and just take a dance break during the middle of the day. I am the biggest fan in the world of doing that.
Yep, and thank you for putting Slow Clap in my head this morning with your announcement on Facebook.
That's a great song, though. That's a great song.
It is a great song, but now I've got Slow Clap stuck in my head all day.
Yeah, but Joel's absolutely right. Two more great ways to just get some exercise and move. Dance.
Yes.
Sing. Singing is one of the best things we can do for our health.
Maybe not everybody should sing.
I know.
Even if you sing off key, get out there and sing and dance, because it also brings into it something else we'll talk about, later in your program, which is humor. So, and
laugh at yourself.
But so again, exercise, everybody, do what you can. I know it's going to be really hard for some of us, and some of us are more able to do these things. Some of us have more opportunity. Some of us don't. But again, just start slowly and build up if you can, day by day. Have a goal. And one thing also, another thing that will help us in this fight to pull ourselves out of this battle fatigue and this depression is, of course, proper nutrition. And we hear this all the time, but it's so important. And right off the bat, I'm just going to mention a few foods that are very, very helpful. And the first is we have eggs, we have fish, we have berries, and we have leafy greens. Now, eggs, first of all, they're a wonderful, nearly perfect protein food. They're rich in vitamin D. So again, they are giving us some of the same benefits that sunshine will give us. Vitamin D. Vitamin D works really hard to improve a bad mood, and it reduces depression. It also increases, again, our dynamic duo of serotonin and dopamine, which help us feel better all day long. And don't forget the yolks. I know some people just eat the egg whites. Eat the yolks. The yolks are loaded with vitamin B, which also improves our neural function in the brain, which will help reduce stress and balance our mood. Fish. Now, there are many fishes that are really important. The ones that we want to focus on today are those that are very rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And those include anchovies, sardines, mackerel, and salmon. And omega-3s are so important. I know, I see there are people right now I know saying, I can't stand anchovies. I'm not going to eat sardines.
I like them.
I
I'm thinking eggs are in a cake, so I'm good.
Yeah. But these are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are so important for balancing our mental clarity, our mood, and fighting depression. And probably one of the best will be salmon. Salmon improves our cognitive function and our memory. The fatty acids in it reduce hostility. and negative feelings and anxiety, and also decrease depression. So moving on to berries. Berries, again, are one of these magical foods. It doesn't matter if it's strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. They are loaded with antioxidants, which, first of all, boost our immune system, which will help us stay healthier and fight off illness and disease. And they are loaded with vitamin C. Spinach, again, is one of the best of the leafy greens, because you see, depression is also linked to a lack of certain nutrients. And one of those nutrients is folic acid. And spinach is loaded with folic acid. It's just, yeah. Joel?
I'm like, who knew?
Yeah.
And Joel, if you're vegetarian, you probably should be loading up on some of these things since you're not going to eat the fish.
Well, going back, I can now have a berry tart, and I am in really good shape.
And not only that, you know, for those of us who don't eat fish or don't like fish, or I have a couple of alternatives here, and nuts and seeds. Okay, nuts and seeds are also loaded with the same omega-3 fatty acids. And just a handful of, say, walnuts or pecans or almonds or sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, they are packed with B vitamins that are known to promote that positive mood and decrease our chances of falling into a depression. So if you don't want the fish, go and reach for a handful of nuts every day instead. They're packed with depression-fighting nutrients. And here's the one we've all been waiting for: chocolate.
Word.
Well, there are very few of us who don't like chocolate. When we eat chocolate, we feel better. I mean, I know I do. And there's a reason for that. Chocolate contains all the compounds necessary to trigger the brain into producing our feel-good chemicals, serotonin and dopamine. It's also rich in methylxanthine, which inhibits the body's tendency to become lazy and lethargic. So chocolate is a natural pick-me-up. It's a natural high that will increase our energy and our mental clarity. And it only takes a couple of bites of chocolate a day. Now, we have the question, what kind of chocolate?
That's my
The
question.
darker the chocolate, the better. And the experts mostly seem to agree
I prefer dark chocolate so much better.
that a cocoa content of 60% or more is what you want to shoot for. And just a couple of bites a day. Chocolate is wonderful for increasing a good mood and decreasing negativity and depression. So that's a good one to know about.
So with that, Susan, I know, especially in the beginning, going along with what you talked about in the beginning, as far as battle fatigue, I think everybody kind of, hunkered down in their homes and did the whole sugar and alcohol thing. And let me tell you from firsthand experience, it creates such a depression. It does not feel like it when it's going down, obviously, but you have trouble sleeping. You have, paranoid thoughts as you sit and watch, the news in front.
What are you drinking?
Why?
It's actually called hangxiety. There's a name for it.
I didn't know that.
I'm like, paranoid thoughts while drinking. You need to change that recipe. Like, that's really what I got from that.
It makes you feel good immediately, but then after you drink, then you get ready to go to bed, and I think that partially can send people off on the wrong tangent. So, along with the good eating, there's reasons why you should not eat bad. Or drink or have Amazon deliver, cases of sugar and or alcohol. I think that really
Overindulgence.
Food. Overindulgence. A good way to
Yeah. You're so right. You're so right. And this, well, and we've all heard about the quarantine 15 or the quarantine 115. And you're so right. We have been shut indoors and not taking care of ourselves. And we've been afraid to go out. And our sleep patterns have been greatly disrupted. That's another huge symptom that comes from battle fatigue or shell shock or PTSD, whatever you want to call it. But talking about drinking, one thing that we have to add in here is, and especially if you've been drinking more alcohol lately than you used to, drink lots of water. Counteract it with water. Because water, I mean, our bodies are about 70% water. And it's water that carries all the nutrients that every cell needs.
I actually was thirsty there for a second, so.
Good. You see, you're encouraging us. You're setting a good example.
Because of all that salty fried food she had before.
Yeah. But it's so important, drink the water. Never underestimate the power of good old H2O. And lots of times I get asked, well, how much do we need to drink? And, the opinions vary on this, but I've been hearing a lot more lately about the theory of drink half your body weight in ounces. For example, let's say you weigh 140 pounds. Then try to drink about 70 ounces of water a day. Sounds like a lot. It's not. I have those big plastic glasses, and each one of those is about 24, 25 ounces. And I easily drink, 2 or 3 of those a day. And just drink water throughout the day. You will feel just so much better. So,
what about lemon water? I've heard a lot about adding lemon to your water is better.
Yeah. I do that a lot. In fact, I add a little mint, a little cucumber, and a little lemon to water, because sometimes you get tired of just plain water. So adding any kind of herb to it at all is very good. Mint, spearmint, peppermint, lemon.
It's good to
Good
know.
idea. Yeah, it's
I
very
will be
good.
doing that. Because, water gets boring after a while. Mike drinks a ton of water. I hardly drink any water, maybe like 2 glasses a day. And he's always yelling at me, just like, it's so boring after a while. It kills me.
It is. So flavor it up. Yeah, flavor it up. And if you put just a teeny bit of cayenne in there too, it's great for your just a tiny bit. It's great for your circulation. It's great for the heart. It's great for your blood pressure and all of those things. So
I will do that. That's amazing. I never thought about doing that.
Okay. And I know the third area that you all wanted to talk about today was humor, the importance of humor. Mm-hmm. And, it's so true. We've all heard the adage, laughter is the best medicine. It just might be true, actually. Yeah. I know we talked about this the last time we met, but the great thing about laughing or laughter or, maintaining some sense of humor and fun is that the physical act of laughing or even just smiling, again, it's like exercise. It increases our level of serotonin, of dopamine, and at the same time, it lowers our stress hormone cortisol. And that's just all from laughing. It also, when you're laughing, especially those big, deep belly laughs, you're taking in all that oxygen and you're expanding your lungs. And again, that will be pushed through your body to every cell in your body and help nourish those with oxygenation. And again, laughing is one of the best exercises you can engage in.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go outside. You don't have to do anything. Just, read a funny book. Watch a funny movie, play with your child, play with your pet. Laughter also activates our T cells. And I know we touched on this last time, but the T cells are our little soldier cells, and they help boost our immune system again and protect us from illness and disease. So we're naturally going to feel better. And if our bodies feel better, our minds feel better. When we feel bad physically, we feel bad mentally. Yeah. Our mind and body are just, they're joined at the hip, literally. We cannot improve one without improving the other. So whatever we can do for our physical body is going to also benefit our mental clarity, help fight depression, and help reduce that horrible anxiety or that dread that so many of us feel, that uncertainty, as you were saying also, Wendy, about the future and what's going to come. Also, and I know we mentioned this last time, Joey, we were talking about laughing. What laughing also does is it releases endorphins, and endorphins are our body's natural painkillers. They are as effective as morphine, but they are natural painkillers, and they allow us to relax and stay calm and maintain a good mood all day long. Yeah.
You know, what we do at home is we will watch a lot of old shows like Carol Burnett. She is a comic genius. So if you want belly laughs of just silliness, download that, because she makes fun of everyday life in the best way possible. And we will just be rolling on the floor laughing at this. And that's 40 years ago. And it's still relevant. The jokes are relevant today. So, I mean, sometimes finding a funny TV show currently is a little challenging. So we often kind of look at the older things. We watch a lot of Columbo too. I love Columbo.
Yeah. But keeping humor front and center in our lives can help us through just about anything. You have to maintain a sense of humor. You've got to try to find the bright side of all the darkness around us. It can be as simple as just telling a joke or two. I sometimes recommend that people get together with their families and just tell a few jokes. Just have someone tell a few jokes. And Joel, back to your singing, karaoke is great. I mean, after all, really, what's funnier than watching a non-singer try to sing? Really?
That's true. That's true.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, I'm a horrible singer.
And one of my favorites are watch baby animal videos. They're all over YouTube. They're hysterical. They're so sweet. They're so endearing. And they will immediately put you in a good mood and help you see the humor in the world around you rather than just all the negativity.
Yeah. That's an active thing that, you know, we have to focus on is turn off I'm a news junkie. I watch it all day long and I forcibly turn it off. Yeah. See, Joy's like, no. And I will just watch, and it's never enlightening, happy stuff. It's always, you know, everything going wrong in the world. So, you know, it took an effort, but I started turning off the news and just watching dumb things on TV. I mean, we're home all day, and I have to have something in the background. And for me, it's just stupid stuff on TV. And Rowan and Martin laughing. You want to laugh? Watch that. I mean, seeing Goldie Hawn at 19 years old, you know, dancing around in her bikini, brilliant. It's awesome. And
it's there. You can find it, you know, and especially with the resources we have today. We have television, we have YouTube, we have, you know, everything is online. It's there, and you just need to seek it out. Shut off the news and turn on a funny old television show. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, before we go today, though, I would like to leave you and your audience with 3 little exercises that are very, very important, because let's think about this for a minute. Not everyone in the world has access to good nutrition. We've talked about that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the world don't have access to lots of clean drinking water. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you 3 tools that anyone can use anywhere. You just have to be alive, and it doesn't require anything else. It's not dependent on anything else. And the first thing The first exercise, it's a series of 3 little exercises you can do anywhere, wherever you are. And the first one is called identify the object and then the color. And this is a tool that psychologists have been using for many years. What it does is we need to train our minds to focus on what's right in front of us. And once we learn how to do that, our minds will be far less distracted by all the negativity, by depression, by noise, by confusion. So this is how we do that. The first one is, I'm sitting here in the library, and this is how the first exercise goes. You look at an object, you name the object out loud, and then you say the color. It's that simple. It's like this. Candle, white. Book, red. Pencil, yellow. Tree, green. Do that very simply, out loud, take your time. Do it for about a minute or so. And what you will find is that you are distracted by less noise mentally, and you're going to be focusing more on what's right in front of you.
Mindfulness, yeah.
Yes, it's mindfulness. Now, once you start to feel that coming together, then we go into exercise number 2, affirmation. Once you feel that, less noise, you're more mindful in the moment, then you say, I am strong. I am capable. I am healthy. I am brave. I am wonderful. All of these wonderful affirmations that you want to say about yourself out loud. And then the third thing you do when you've gone through the objects, you've gone through your affirmations, the third one, smile. Just smile. Because the simple act of smiling, as we've mentioned before, just turning up the muscles and the nerves in the face, in the gesture of a smile, triggers the brain into thinking it's happy. And once the brain thinks it's happy, it automatically starts producing more serotonin and dopamine, which in turn actually make us feel happier. And in turn, then we smile more. And it's this wonderful cycle of feeling better and fighting depression and fighting dread and negativity and anxiety. And it's 3 very simple exercises. Try it once a day, twice a day. You will see a difference. Well, I like to compare this to training our dog. We train our mind the same way we train our dog. And that is, first, we call our dog to us. Then we tell our dog to sit down. Then we tell our dog to pay attention. And then we feed our dog a treat. And that dog will keep coming back for the treats. Our mind is the same way. Once we train it to be mindful in the moment in this way, it will want to do this more and more, and the exercise becomes easier and easier.
I love
That's
that.
it.
It's so simple, and it's just a matter of remembering to do it. Yeah. Well,
So
thank
try
you.
it. I want to encourage all of you today.
Yeah.
Just
And
try it.
Joel keeps looking over at Chester. I know Chester's lying on his bed.
My Chester's over there sleeping.
Chester is your dog.
Yeah, my baby.
Angel just came into my room too. So, but I wanted to leave you with those last 3 things, which are not dependent on anything except the individual, him or herself.
No, that's brilliant. And the simplicity is what I love about it, because you can do it anywhere, and you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself, to the affirmations, because so many of us, it's easier to believe the negativity people have to say about you, or that you believe in yourself, than it is the positive. So we need to all change that mindset that, What other people's opinions don't matter. It doesn't. You just have to do what works for you. And
Well, and remember, the spoken word has energy. Speaking, that's why we do these exercises out loud. We don't think it, we speak it. A spoken word has energy. Get that energy out there. And a spoken word also involves more of the body and mind coordination than just thinking something. We want to involve the whole body.
Very good to know.
So I'm thinking anybody who's nervous, see, I'm going to make this whole full circle right here. Anybody who's nervous about going out in public, go out in public and then do these 3 things out loud. You will not have people around you. I'm just saying.
Very true. Hold a whole nother level there, Joel. Whole nother level. Well, thank you, Susan. Again, this was a wonderful follow-up to the first one, because I know we went almost 40 minutes today, but it's necessary.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know. It's like, we're going to get this done fast today. No, there's too much to unpack here. There's too much to discuss.
I was talking as fast as I could. Sorry.
It's okay. No, that's why this is important. There is so much to discuss and go over.
Yeah.
And I think if we can, again, every little bit helps. And if this helps people, then my job's done. Because that's really what this is all about. We kind of diverged a little from environmental social justice, but in all honesty, mental health is social justice. So we need to talk more about it. We need to be more open about it and more accepting that everybody has a fault. Everybody, everyone messes up in life. It happens. You just need to be okay with yourself. And on that, I will thank you. And Joel and Joy, I will let you close out with your goodbyes.
Bye, everybody. Yeah, take good care of yourself. There are a lot of people out here that are beating each other up, trying to beat you up, but just remember who you are at your essence and keep the faith, and things will work out just fine in the end for all of us, globally, our local community, and even just with ourselves. So there you have it.
And Joel?
Joy.
There you go.
And there you go. Okay, guys. Thank you all so much. I will see you